Hey guys, and welcome to Devlog 5 of Crypt of Cards, my card game roguelike. For some reason we're starting with another update. I feel like we've had quite a few recently, but anyway. In this video I want to work on fixing the bugs from the last video as well as progress with the game itself. That includes ending the game when the player runs out of health and making the game more progressively difficult with stronger enemies. Here's my current Trello list. I completed cleaning up the code and spawning a new dungeon when the last is complete in my last devlog, and in this one I want to complete the death screen, create all cards as prefabs, work on the enemies and the enemy script, and if I have time, start designing the shop. With the project opening, I wanted to explain some of my plans for the future. I'm going to keep releasing videos hopefully once a week, but break up the Crypt devlogs. I'll make a couple of different videos like the last one. I hope you enjoyed it. With the project open, I'm creating a death screen using a panel, and it will display dead and the extra coins the player will receive for killing enemies. I'll need to change the fonts in the future so they're the same style as the cards, and come to think of it, I don't think they're all the same font anyway, so that needs to change. I add a line of code at the end of the enemy's turn to check the player's health, and if it's below 0 it will show the death panel. Currently the enemies do 5 damage, so the player dies in 2 hits, but I'll decrease this in the future. There's still some work I need to do on it, but for now I want to make all the cards prefabs because I have the script to do so. That includes the cards enter, shop and quit on the main menu, and the others on the shop menu and the delete save menu. And here you can see them working exactly the same as before. I've just replaced the cards on all screens to be created using the scripts. As I mentioned before, the cards have different fonts, so I'm taking them back into Photoshop to change that and update them to a pixel font which I believe fits my theme best. Here you can see all the cards and text in the game using this font, and I'm really happy with how it looks. Next up is to work on the bugs I ended the last devlog on. These were that multiple enemies were sharing a hex, hexes were overlapping, and the game continued with the player's health below 1, but we've already fixed that one. It turns out there was an issue with the enemy function, and when the enemy tries to move, I didn't give it the option to stay where it is if there's no other place for it to go. This is a playthrough of the game so far. Unfortunately, this fixed the bug so I don't have any more errors. After seeing the death screen, I remembered I needed to update the coins you receive and the text from 150, which is what it's defaulting to at the moment. I took a break from the game to work on redesigning my website. I was happy with it when I made it, but I just felt it could still be improved. I feel this one is a lot more professional and minimalistic, which represents me well. It still has all the same content but all on one page. The links scroll you to that section, and I prefer these colours and the font. You'll notice the colours are what I use for my primary and secondary PC colours. My background and the taskbar mostly feature them. The new website is now live, and you can use it to find my contact details and social media accounts. I still post on Instagram, Patreon and a few others there. Now back to the game. I add a few more tasks while I remember them to my to-do list, and then get back to my next one, which is updating the stats on the dungeon scene. For some reason I didn't add this to the start function, but now that I have, it should show everything up to date. I don't think I mentioned previously, but the fatigue moves and attack are maintained even when generating a new dungeon, so the player needs to be aware of their fatigue when starting a new one, as they don't know where the enemies are going to spawn. The armor and attack values weren't right, and I couldn't figure it out for ages until I checked I assigned them right, and of course I set armor text for both, which is why it wasn't working. You really gotta love programming sometimes. With that all fixed, all the values stay current. Unfortunately, the game works as it should. Next, I fixed the coin and save system. The player gets 10 coins for each enemy they kill at the end of the round, as well as the 1 coin for each unvisited tile they traverse during the round. When the user plays again, the coins remain what they were previously, even if they quit the game in between. Now for the enemies. I've created the stats for 5 different enemies, which you can see here, each with increasing difficulty. Now for some reason the colours weren't working, and after some googling, I found it's because the RGB values are between 0 and 1, not 0 and 255. So I had to divide each by 255, which was an easy fix. I also had an issue with the enemies staying as the same type and not changing after each move. This is because after each turn they're deleted and recreated, but I've saved their stats as variables which I can reset after they've been recreated. With my next playthrough I had another error, but again this is going to have to be for next time because I need another break and possibly a few coffees. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave any suggestions and comments and I'll make sure to look through them. Drink coffee, keep programming, and I'll see you in the next one.